Hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, Catfax is still broken. I don't know, guys. Catfax might be done. It's been broken for like 4 days now. But welcome in, everybody. Let me hold on. Let me pinecone first because Tori has been so kind to pinecone here. Yeah, Catfax and Dogfax are dead. No, that makes me so sad. I loved Catfax and Dogsfax. Aw, bummer. But welcome in, guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry I'm a little late. I know, I'm a little late. And it's totally not because I fell asleep. That'd be crazy. All right, let me say hi to everyone. I know I saw that Oddball got first. Congrats. Who got second? Wolfie got second. Hello. Hi. Horseman. Hello. Horseman, I have to tell you, the hype emotes that you posted, they are exactly on beat and on time with that Audio Slave song that was just playing, that I was like watching them and I was like mesmerized for like a good 15 to 20 seconds. Tori, hello. Izara, hello. Aya, hello. And is that everybody? That's everybody. Hello. There's Doggo. Yeah, Doggo's broken, and Kitty. Oh, there's our dog and our cats. There we go. I'm kind of sad about cat facts and dog facts. I'm going to leave it for a couple more streams to see if maybe they fix it. Otherwise, it might be time to retire cat facts and dog facts, even though I was really excited. I really liked them. It makes me sad. How's everyone's day? Houndor. Do you guys remember that like week that I tried to make all the Pokemon sounds whenever you guys would do them? That was hard. That was really hard. Yes, tell me about your fun video editing story. Yeah, I can't believe that you're here and you won't let...
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Hi, Franklin. How are you? Welcome in. I can't believe that you're here and you won't let someone else be part of this community anymore. It's just so selfish of you, honestly. It's so selfish of you, honestly, to steal this community from somebody who cared so much. Yes. Make your own kind of music. Yeah, Sing your own special song. Yeah. Yes, I've seen Lost. Whole 3 comments he made. Yeah, really cemented his presence here. Especially you can tell because people in chat were like, who? Why is it taking a very long time? This will be a long 9 days. What you got in 9 days? What's planned for 9 days? My friend sent me a video today of a trash tornado outside his office building, and so I just recorded it with that song. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Trash flying around. Pedestrians looking around all confused. Sing your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. And people are just like crying. After ending the road trip with a trip to the land of country roads and mountain mamas, West Virginia, take me home. Country roads. Messaging my best friend of 13, 14 years is the funniest thing he's done so far. Messaging me was so random. Like, what? Why is this taking so long? Holy shit. My dog just made a weird noise. Hold on. What's up, bud? Did you hurt yourself when you jumped off the bed? Huh? You hurt yourself when you jumped off the bed? Come on. Lay down. Go lay down. Tired school is being a nope, and I'm stressing over presentations. I hate that for you. Going to Point Pleasant. Some Fallout game. I had to walk away for the game to work. Also, why is it taking me here? I don't live here anymore. Jack. Jack. Lay down. What are you doing? Here, do you need a cookie or something? Get in bed. Okay, I don't know what the deal is. Okay, sorry. Yes, Point Pleasant. Point Pleasant is a named location in Fallout 76. Jack attack. I know, I don't know what he's doing. Jack! Lay in your bed. He's just like pacing. One time he collected cork seeds for me so I could poop. A real pillar of the community. So this is where I used to live, but it is not where I live anymore. So it's weird that they put me here. Poop for poop, a fair trade, yeah. What did it cost? Everything. What are you doing in my house, dude? Are you... My guy, that's my house. Thank you. Thank you. This is my new house. It's right down the road from my old house. This is my new house. Look at it. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. I can't finish building this though, because apparently I don't know how to make water bottles. But look at it. It's very nice. It's very nice. I put someone else's poetry. I know, he's a spooky death elk. They don't... I can't hurt them. But they can, like... He can, like, fuck up the forest and stuff. I want to know what this is for. Because I can't do anything to it. Look, it says immune. Immune. So, like, what do I do with him? Look at him. He just walks into trees. Look at he just walks into trees and just demolishes them. There's a way to make him tangible? Oh, I'm not there yet, but that's pretty awesome. That's crazy. I just like following him around. Being like, sir, what? What? What was that? He got mad I stole his... He like got mad I stole his like logs or something. He'll regrow the trees and plant. That's pretty cool. But why did he charge like that? That was scary. Hi, Terry. That rhymed unintentionally. That's pretty awesome, though. Oh, here's my dog. Why are you outside, buddy? I was wondering where you went. Just stop. I know. He does have a hat. Look at how handsome. I sing this every time I get a message from Terry. Every moment's a Terry moment. Hi, Terry. How are you? Welcome in. Okay. What did I do on stream the last time? Because I played a little bit off stream. I have to rebuild my roof. I hate my roof. Oh yeah, I unlocked the gloom. Yes, that's right. Gloom. Let's start with the Gloom Forest. Let's start. I haven't been to the Gloom Town yet. I just got the card last time I streamed, and then I haven't gone yet. Doing well. Difficult life thing. Yeah, medication's helping. There's just sort of 5 of me, so I can do everything at once. I agree. I wish there was multiples of me. Nice cat emote you got there. Pteroid? Terold? I thought you said pteroid, like steroid, but it's Terold, which is even funnier. Good luck with the roof. Thank you, Oddball. You've been following this for months. It looks so good. Oh my god. I am excited. I've been loving it. Honestly, I've been having a really good time with it. I like the things that they do that are different than like other survival craft games. Like makes them really stand out. I think it's really cool. Pteroid. Did you get a cat emote? Shame there's an artist who could do it. Oh man. Has been utterly fantastic. It really has, Mr. Wednesday. It's been so fun. I'm not quite as far as I would like to be, but I've been playing solo most of the time, so I've just been enjoying it. I feel like I rush through survival craft games a lot of times. Her cat emote for a long time now. Aw. Well, I mean, I figured you guys were like LOL JK because like Terry is artist. It's almost done. That's exciting. Aya, when are you gonna stream again? I wanna come bother you on your stream. I wanna collect poop on your stream. Aya stream, Aya stream, Aya stream. I want to. Stardew Valley update soon? That's true. That's true. Star dudes. Oh, great. It's raining. I love that for me. Okay, I've never been here yet. I don't want to wait till the update. I mean, do you have to do a new playthrough for the update? Like, could you start a new farm pre-update? It's just... shimmering, probably. Ugh. Oh my god, I'm encumbered already? LOL. I didn't empty my pockets before I came here. What a tool. What a tool. It's me. I'm the tool. Yeah. Same thing with Sons of the Forest. Sons of the Forest just went full release. And they said the same thing. They're like, it will work, but like, you probably want to start a new game because it's gonna work better. Which I want to do. You should stream your Baldur's Gate 3 honor run. Why can't I continue my journey? There we go. It did. It went full release like not even 2 weeks ago. You think I have honor? I didn't say your honor. I said Baldur's Gate honor. Come on. What am I looking for? Glass. Thank you. She plays a star in dating sim. That's the same game I play. I don't see a problem. I see no issues whatsoever. I feel like Aya and I play the same game. Terry, do you remember when you were like, oh my god, Baldur's Gate, you should play it? And I was like, nah, that's not my kind of thing. And then you were like, LOL, I think you'd like the vampire who's an asshole and I hate him. And I was like, yeah, maybe, we'll see, LOL. And now here I am 500 hours later. I remember that. Yeah, whatever, I'm busy being Asterian's personal Capri Sun. Yeah, there's priorities that need to happen. Hello, you thought. Yeah, I did thought. I did. I thought I was safe. I thought I was safe. I thought I was safe from him. I thought I was safe from that game. Because I was like, nah, that's not my thing. Oh, little did I know. It was gonna be my thing, whether I was ready for it or not. I need to Baldur's Gate more. Like, there's still so many more things I wanted to finish. I have the hiccups. Oh my god. Work up the nerve to finish a case without asking the instructor to watch? I believe in you. Alright, I'm gonna hold my breath for a minute, so I'm not gonna talk.
Isarl says pineapple, banana, 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 pineapple, banana.
gone? Thank you for the pineapple banana dance. They are, yeah, Larian Studios. And did you see they're hiring? They're like hiring like mad people right now. Which is awesome because Sony just laid off a crap ton of people. What's going on in the video game dev world, man? Everyone's getting laid off. That sucks. Got no degrees, no company experience. I just dropped butts. I mean, Larian obviously could use a person to do that. So, I'm just saying, shoot your shot, Terry. Speaking of butts, yes. Wouldn't be a Pinxel stream without it, would it? You should get off yours and make dinner. Oh, you probably should. You know what? I'll look and see. Yes. Look and see for the butt animator position. Specifically. Like, hello, Mr. Larian. I am here for the butt animator position. And they're like, I'm sorry, we don't have... And they're like, yes, but you need it. And they're like, oh, shit. You right. Oh, shit, you right. I kiss Lucas on his little head. It's him little head. Forgotten to... For 10 minutes. Gotta put food in it? Yes. Everybody eat dinner. Don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. Why can't my oven just, like, do it? Like, just instant? Yeah, I know. I wish it did too, man. I wish everyone's ovens did. That'd be so sweet. I'm also soaked, and I have not done anything. Why am I glowing? Okay, whatever that is, it's gone. Oh my gosh. What is that movie? Do you guys remember that movie from, like, the early 2000s? And it, like he could, like, print Smart House. Yeah, he would, like, print pizza. Yeah. That'd be dope. Can it stop raining, please? That's what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Kids these days don't know about Smart House. Yeah, no, I don't want the crazy house part. I just want the printable pizza. Jump the house, right? Yeah, no, I don't want the insane Katie Seagal house. I just want the part where it prints pizza for me. Okay, I hear a puzzle. Oh. One there. Go. No, it's not the first one. Okay. Man, Disney Channel original movies used to go so hard. There hasn't been a good Disney Channel original movie in a while. I will be the first one to say. Disney Channel original movies, the DComs. DComs are severely lacking lately. Under the bed, or was it called Don't Look Under the Bed? Oh, I think it was Don't. I think it was Don't Look Under the Bed. Yeah, then there was the one... Oh, man. Was it Wish Upon a Star? Where they switch places? Halloween Town. Oh, Halloween Town. Classic. 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 No! I literally don't even see... Oh, there's one. so there's one there, and then there's one there. Okay, so it's 2. I only see 2 so far. No, I fell. Xenon Girl from 21st Century. Yes, Xenon was also a good one. Where is she? Where is that girl? What's her name? Kirsten Storm, right? Was that name? I hope she's good. If we could not hail, that would be wonderful, because I can't do anything with the hail. Oh yeah, zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom. Yeah, yeah. Oh god, yeah. Xenon. Alright, so there's one there. So there's one, there's 2. 1, 2. 3. Holy shit, there's so many. Okay, so there should be one. What? One there, and then isn't there one right below here? Which one was that? Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, so that's number 2. That's 3. I don't know where that one is. How are you liking this game so far? I saw it had mixed reviews on Steam. Does it really have mixed reviews? I'm curious why they're mixed. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to lie though, it does have a very slow grind in the beginning. But I do feel like a lot of survival crafts do that. But yeah, this one had a bit of a grind. Oh, here's one here. Okay, so hold on. This one's gonna be kind of tough because there's so many different places to look. Alright, so this is 2. So then it's gonna go to 3. No, 3 is somewhere else. Where the fuck is 3? That's 4. Six. Holy shit. This one's tough. I agree. Yeah, the crafting system does need a little overhauling. There's a few just like strange quality of life things that I find it weird that they don't have. Like there's not an ability to split a stack of something. You know, so I just feel like that was just like an oversight, like that you can't split a stack of items. Can't hear because it won't work. Hi! Something about conversion for essence. Yeah, essence kind of sucks because I'm trying to get tier 2 essence, and I'm at 22. Like it's ridiculous. Get tool output, but there are some things. Yeah, I agree. There are some things that could be changed, but my big one, like I said, is stacks. And also, I know that this was just a me thing, and I will admit it. But it took entirely too long for me to, like, figure out that there was an actual build mode, because the game itself, at least as far as I saw, didn't show the build mode mechanic to me. So I was, like, destroying my items, like, trying to move them instead of going into build mode, because I felt like the game never showed me that, but... I think I'm hearing that. Yeah, it's worth. It's very, very, very worth. It's very fun. I'm not gonna say I haven't been enjoying it, but there are a couple things that I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. This one's really hard, though. I can't even find all of the things yet. I think I'm gonna come back for this one, just because on stream, it's just hard for me to focus, is all. Oh, here's the trader, though. Having quiet night with friends. We love it. We love it. Yeah, especially because now I also have to use the same essence that I have to use to, like, level up. I have to use to trade with, so it's like, ugh. And I lagged. Great, love that. Hello, Edmund. Why do you all look the same? Man. Alright, well the good thing is that I have all of the benches so far. I really want this roof. But it's 10 points. I only have 22. I really want this roof! Alright, we'll come back. Coming back for you, Edmund. Coming back for you. What's this? No crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. Wait, why did you... Okay, apparently the new thing we do now is to just stop gliding for no reason. Oh yeah, I have a gun. Oopsies. Oh, okay. I forgot you can't, your ankle is sprained. Yeah, I wonder how that happened, game. Yeah, I wonder how that happened, game. Got the oven? Oh my god, Terry, make dinner. Yeah, we're not using this. We're just gonna use regular melee weapons. There we go. Look at that. I got 1 essence. Look at that. Would you look at that? I'm still so pissed that my ankle is sprained. I'm so pissed my ankle is sprained. Like, I wonder how that happened, game. How do you think that happened? How do you suppose my ankle got sprained? Is it when you just stopped gliding and dropped me to the ground? I'm kind of hungry. I ate dinner, though. You don't mind being a farm bot for an hour? I appreciate that. I had to actually get rid of my companion because she pissed me off so bad while I was trying to mine. She would like stand in front of me and then I'd like stop mining and just start doing damage on her, and I was like, if you don't do that, I'm like, right now. My dude. She's just like, here, you want me to stand right here? Is right here a good place for me to stand? I just want to look down. I just want to look down my fucking sights. Like a normal thing. See, it's like hitting, yeah, see, it's hitting the thing even though it really shouldn't be. Only the rifles? Really? Oh, that's so obnoxious. Also, I feel like they stopped telling me, like the essences stopped telling me what I was getting from them. Like over on the side. That's it for this one. Oh. Oh, does it really? Oh, yeah. V. It says down in there. Yeah. Get up there. I don't see anything. Might have to build to get up there, possibly. Interesting. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you don't have to build up there. Is there another spot? I saw the shimmers down below, so that's possible. Oh, look, there's one there too. See, I wish there was a take all button. If there is, I don't see it. Alright, do we see a red rune here? Yep, there's one here and one here. Okay. So there should be one more left, probably down below. Do we see the red? Yeah, I see it's over here. Is the shimmery shimmer. Shimmery. There it is. Shim charoo. Alright, was that all of it? What's this? A gem. Where are you going? Is that all of them? I think it was just 4. I don't see any more. Let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs. I know, my camera's all over the place because I'm, like, looking. No, see, like, this one's still red right here. Okay. Okay, so we're still missing one. See, what are the shimmers telling me? Shimmer. I only see the one down here. Oh, can I shoot this? Oh my gosh, that really didn't kill you? Now you're dead. Alright, so I still have to find the last rune. Alright. I really thought it would be below, but maybe it's above, and I missed one above, because there was only one above, but there was only one below as well, so that's weird. Alright, go upstairs. How do I get that one, though? That one I still don't know. Right, so... I don't see another rune. So... it's gotta be down. Then I just missed it somewhere. Because the shimmers look like they're going outside, which doesn't really make sense. Every once in a blue moon, I will like walk past one of the runes and not quite actually see it. But I mean, all right, I'll follow these guys outside. There's nothing out here though. You're not even at your PC. Well, hello, DJ. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Alright. What the heck am I missing? It's gotta be somewhere so dumb, honestly. I'm getting frustrated too, because I'm like, where the heck else do I look? Okay. Med posture water check, please. Yes. Woo! I didn't realize my lid wasn't on all the way. Your uncle gave you cake leftovers? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's find this last one here. You on the statue? Yes. No? Yes? No? Oh, look at you. You're deceiving. Okay. I do not see it on this floor. So we'll go upstairs one more time, I guess. You didn't have to help pay the bill because it was also a birthday. Let's go. Whose birthday was it? Someone in your family? Brownie with ice cream. That sounds so good. I'm getting frustrated. Like, it has to be downstairs. This is where the shimmers are. I mean, I don't think the shimmers necessarily always show you the right way. Lunch was one of your paternal side cousins and dinner was your maternal side cousin. Nice! That's nice that, like, you guys all get together for things like that. Like, some families don't do, like, big families for every gathering. Alright, I'm getting... like, I'm losing my mind right now. There's one more room. And the shimmers are taking me outside, which is not accurate. Alright, is it, like, in one of, like, these things here? So it's the first time you celebrated their birthday? That's really cool. I'm glad you had a good night, DJ. And the brownie with ice cream sounds really good. Alright, I'm losing it, chat. I'm losing it. I'm gonna snap. I don't know where the last rune is. Alright, so it's not on these guys, right? Because these guys have two. That's that one. That's that one. Okay. With yogurt and morena. Double ice cream. Oh. A nice warm brownie. Oh my gosh, DJ, that sounds so good. Alright. So... It's somewhere. It was so good, not gonna lie. Oh, DJ, that sounds so good. Where is this last rune? Alright, I got that chest. For 3 hours in Paradise. And an eggs Benedict with salmon. Oh my gosh. DJ, I already ate dinner and you're making me hungry again. Alright, chat. If anybody sees this fucking rune, please tell me, because I don't see it. Sorry, not sorry. Thanks, DJ. Thanks, DJ. Alright. So the wispies are going here, and that just, like, doesn't make sense. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna snap. Right, and then you go over here. And then you go stand out in the rain and do nothing. What the heck? Stop torturing me for the night. Have a nice stream. Remember, don't lose your mind. Oh, I've already lost it, DJ.
Seek
Thanks for
fluid
stopping
intake
by.
immediately.
Thank you, DJ. Alright. It is not you without a hydro. It's true. It's true. Do I have to, like, get rid of these guys? I don't know. Okay, I killed you. Now what? Where's that sound? Do I have to kill the last one? That's not how you do this, right? I don't think I've ever killed these things before. Yeah, see? It just keeps coming back. Okay. I'm going somewhere else, because I don't know. Like, where? It's not here. It says that there's the box upstairs says there's one more. Look. Where the heck? I'm losing it. I'm actually going to snap. And how do you get up there? Check pillars, because sometimes they half glitch into a pillar. I feel like I went so, like, detailed around. I feel like it's gotta be on the bottom floor. It just has to be. Alright, let me go slow. See, I feel like it's gonna be over here. Losing it. See, there's like red glowing on the statue right here, but it's not activating there. Like it's not on this wall. See, I hear... Well, that's because I'm hungry. Like, I think I'm hearing them, I think, is what I'm hearing. But I hear something, like, over here. Like, you can usually see the glow of the red before you can actually see, like, the rune. See, it sounds like there's something here. Alright, I don't know. Let's go upstairs one more time. Like, there's one on this floor and there's one on the top floor. Like, I feel like it's gotta be one of those two. Like, I don't feel like it's gonna be here on the middle floor that's got, like, the most of them. Yep, see, that's the blue one. Yeah. I guess I'll go upstairs once more. I really feel like it's gotta be on the bottom floor, but... There's that one. It's not on the center thing. This one's really getting me, and I want to figure out how to get that up there. But this one is really throwing me here. Like, I cannot find the last one. I really feel like it's downstairs. Like, I really, really feel like it's downstairs somewhere. Are you in the statue? Are you, like... I might come back, mostly because I'm bored with this puzzle now, more than anything. Maybe coming back, I'll just happen to stumble upon it. I don't know. That one's really annoying. I don't like the screaming. Not a huge fan of the screaming here. Why is this laggy so bad today? Do they like eat each other? What are they doing? What are they doing? I hit 2, but okay. Pokemon spawn incoming. Remoraid, a jet Pokemon. More like an asshole Pokemon. Oh, that one told me. Okay. So they do still tell you which cards are what. Wait, how do I break that? Well, this occupation I think is done, other than... Where did I see it? There. I don't think I can... Oh, I did. Amazing. What's in here? Anything? Nothing. There's not even a treasure in here. Wow. Bamboozled. Bamboozed, guys. Bamboozed. Portal. Where's the Fae Tower? Oh, here it is. So, if I remember, and maybe Wednesday you might happen to know this just confirmation-wise, but when you do the tower, it exposes the rest of the waypoints. Is that right? No, I'm looking for the hat. There it is. Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. That's what I have been pretty much assuming has been happening, but I haven't like a 100%, but 100% been paying attention. Yeah, the POIs. Yeah. Is this amber? That's quartz. What? No thank you. No thank you. I'm good. You can stay there. Oh Lord. He angry. Bro, I haven't even cut a single tree down on this realm. It is not me. Alright, so I'm gonna guess the axe is how you fight this guy. Because he is made of tree. Ah! Can I collect the bolts? Give. No, I'm trying to collect your bulbuses. Oh, get away from me. Don't touch me. This is health bar. Oh, he's grabbing on me. Oh no! tree. Stop. Stop it. Thank you. It's fine, guys. It was just a tree. It was just a tree. It's fine. A plow. Oh, look. I was just about to buy that. Good thing I didn't. Alright, where am I going? Hat. Hat. Where's hat? There's hat. Whee! I'm doing so great, guys. I'm doing so great. There's a couple workbenches that I need to upgrade. I think I need... No, I ended up getting everything, don't I? Yeah, actually, I spoke too soon. I think I have everything now. Because I needed the tier 2 cooking station for a while, but I just got it. 2, 3. Singing, lurking, and cooking. Gotcha. Enjoy your sing, lurk, cook. Your sklook. Those ones are so easy. Like, the ones where it's just 3. Railway train car. Don't I have that? I guess I don't, but I need to sleepies too and eat. I need to eat. Alright, you know what? I guess I'm going to... Yeah, I'll go back home first. Get some stuff together, get some sleep, put my crap away. And then we'll come back and do the tower. Because there's going to be a boss fight at the end of the tower, obviously. And I should make some health poultices or whatever they're called. Food is good. Eat food. Eat food. I did eat food. I don't need more food. I just want more food. Big difference. I almost thought about playing something else tonight, but I don't know what I would have played. I really want to finish Elden Ring, but I've been doing that off stream, and I've kind of been actually enjoying doing it off stream, honestly. I have to finish Lies of P. I have to finish Red Dead Redemption 2. There's too many games. I think we're playing Pal World on Friday. I think that's what has been decided, because I never finished Pal World, honestly. I should have. I should have, but I did not. But I think that's what we're doing on Friday. I think that's what has been decreed and decided. Wednesday, do you have these ridiculously long portal screens too? I just feel like once it's been prepared, like, it doesn't need to be prepared 100 more times. Alright, sleep. This. I love that the ingots have different little symbols on them. I think that's really cute. This and this and this. This. Oh, that doesn't go there? No, that goes here. Yeah, okay. This. What is this? Gem powder. I don't even know where to put that. I guess I'll put it with this stuff. Are they named too? If I wait, can you name them? You can't name them. Oh, you go. Well, they're gonna be named now. I didn't know that. I never tried, if I'm being completely honest. I literally never tried. I never tried. That's amazing. Yeah, I will be doing that then for sure. Yes. So I play majority of what I play is survival craft games, and I am notoriously known as the storage goblin because everything has to be stored and everything has to be organized and everything has to be like put in the right places, and if like I open a box and something is not in the right place or like somebody shoved something where it doesn't belong, I will like lose it. But I don't remember where I put these guys. Did I put them with wood? No. Did I put them with animal parts? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. Once I saw you can rename portals. Oh, see, like I've seen you can rename this, and I saw you could rename. So okay, the one thing about portals. How come? Or maybe. Did I try? Yeah, I did try. How come if you put two portals down, they go to the same place? Are you eating a burrito in a leaf? Even worse, it's grilled vegetables in a leaf. Here, look, do you want to see my meat? Here's my meat in a leaf. Yeah, when I put two portals down at my old house, they both went to the same place. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember if I changed them. Okay, see, and I'll go to a new place of that. Wait, if you put the same combo in, they go to the same place. But in the bottom left, you can reset realm, and it'll go to a new place of that biome. Hold on, because when you do reset realm... Oh, why are we so close? What? Why are we so close? I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna waste time now, because now I'm curious. Because I put two down. And they both went to the same place. But now I'm trying to see if maybe I didn't put new cards in the second one. Just can't remember. That was like a week ago. I can't remember that now. Okay, put them in the same combo, same place. In the bottom left, reset realm. Okay, I want to see. I'm curious. You can extract essence dust. Yeah, but not tier 1 or 2 or whatever I need. Not tier blue. It's a pretty good asset for video game queue. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying... How am I tired? Did I not just sleep? I have to sneeze. So you're saying... Reset portal? Oh, this one! You have to play a biome and major card to a realm you've already opened to reset a realm. Interesting. So this is a gloom forest. So if I put a second one down and I put like provision or desert or whatever, will they go to two different places? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I honestly put the second portal down and I never changed the cards. That would make sense, because I was like, I had 2 down, I swear, and they were going different places. Or they were going the same places. 12? Holy. Alright, lumber, ingot, wire, and lotus. Alright, lotuses are here. Wires here, because I don't like that they have the stupid Nightingale thing on it. Oops, I missed. See, this is one of the things that bothers me, is the lumber. Like, I can't do like a partial stack. There's no partial stack button. If you right click, it just, yeah. Oh. Holy shit, tier 3. It's not necessarily that I mind the grind. It's just like I try not to do how do I phrase this? I try not to do a lot of like monotonous stuff on stream, if that makes sense. So like I don't mind the grind off stream. Like I'll go and kill a bunch of crap while I'm watching Netflix. Like I don't care. But on stream I try to keep it as entertaining as I can, I guess, you know. So, this is so I just want like a partial stack. This is very annoying. Like I feel like this has to just be an oversight by the devs to not have a split stack option. Like that's like right? Like that has to be an oversight. Like there's no way they made a survival craft game without a split stack. Like they just forgot to push the button when they released the game. That's what I have to believe in my heart. And then on stream I try to do progression and fun. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be attempting extreme difficulty. Ooh. So okay, I'm curious to know, but I also don't want to know because I want to be surprised. But I have to know. Are there more than 3 biomes? Because I feel like 3 biomes is a little lacking. Not yet. There's no hotkey. If you click the move to inventory button, you can select the amount. Oh, really? You have to do it that way? Okay, that's kind of annoying, but sure. And we crawl back. Yeah, I just feel, and especially because I saw something, I don't remember what it is, but I saw something and it was like, oh, protects you better from like colder temperatures. And I was like, what cold temperatures? Like there's not an ice biome, there's not a mountain biome. So it's gotta be coming. Oh shit, I just wasted a potion on accident. I didn't mean to do that. Just, I fat fingered instead of A. Not paying attention. This is my other thing. When I'm streaming and I'm like chatting, I'm just like da 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 da, and I'm like totally not even paying attention to half the crap I'm doing. We're halfway there, guys. Which is odd. Even when you have cold resist. Yeah. I wonder if, oh, excuse me. I wonder if they're trying to go similar to the Pal World route, where like they want you to like have a torch or some sort of open flame or something. Also, like, how close you have to get to the fire to warm up, logically, like, is stupid. Okay, so you're saying, so if I do this, and I click that and I do, okay, I'll give it to them, but also that wouldn't make me think split stack. You know, like if I was looking for a split stack button, that wouldn't make me think it. Yeah, it's not intuitive. It doesn't scream like this is where you split your stacks. Like it just seems like, oh, that's like the same action as dragging. Shift control. Yes, thank you. Yes, I felt it that's not, with all the survival craft games that I play, that's not the first thing that I would think would be to split my stacks. But thank you for telling me that that does exist. because I was really, really annoyed and really frustrated being like, what the hell? Why does it make me pick all of my crap up at the same time? Oh, apparently I am running very low on tin. My god, I don't have fuel again. I know it probably goes through much faster, but I refuse to put, like, actual wood in these. Like, I'll only put, like, sticks and stuff, but I know it burns so much faster. It's just a me thing. I'm like, no, I'm not spending my hard-earned wood on ingots. So I'll fill it with sticks and fibers and crap. I try not to yeah, no. That's different. That's not like, oh, if you go to this biome and then you do this and then you do it. Like, that's just like, that's crappy. Like, no. That's totally understandable. Especially because I was bitching. Especially because I was like, what the fuck? Alright, I need more ingots. How many do you have yet? 1. Alright. I'm trying to think which ones, like, I've completely cleared out. Like, I know that there are a few realms that I've, like, completely cleared out. Like, I've wiped everything out. So obviously I want to, like, reset those guys, but I just don't remember. So I guess we'll just go one at a time. I feel like I want to have, like, one of each difficulty. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I want to have, like, an easy one to, like, just go and, like, farm and mine and crap. And then I want to have, like, more difficult ones for, like, getting essence and stuff. Oh my god, I miscounted. I need one more. Are you done? Please have one more. Amazing. I know how to count, I swear. I know how to count, I swear. Okay. Okay, so I can do an antiquarian. Let's just start with the antiquarian forest. Reset realm, huh? Wait, how come I can't? Do you reopen the register? You get 40 on heart. Yeah. If you go to an extreme without the proper equipment, you die. Really? That's crazy. I'm pretty sure this one's done, so I just want to check it. And then I'll probably increase the difficulty. Pick the box. Box. Oh, oh. Public reset. I can't. Oh, I'm being really dumb right now. Wow. Wow. Okay. If I'm being completely honest, my brain saw these as, like, scroll, like, up and down. I don't know what happened there. It's been a day. I don't know what happened there. I, like, saw the boxes and my brain was like, oh, scroll wheel. Arrows that show me up and down. Listen, I never claimed to be the smartest. Alright. So this will reset everything, huh? And then I can just mine all the crap again? It has been a week, and it's only Wednesday. Crazy. It's okay, 2 more days, though. 2 more days till the weekend. Tomorrow's your work Friday, huh? So do you have like Friday, Saturday off, or do you not have set days? Excuse me. Friday, Saturday? Nice. Sunday's not a bad day to work, I feel like. Sundays are usually a pretty chill day in most places. Oh, fairy rings. I need to start using those more. Because those are actually pretty decent, decent little inventions there. I just never remember to use them. I should be dropping them, like, in front of, the Fey Towers and stuff like that. 10 for the night hours, so you work Sunday evenings. I used to love the Sunday incentive, the Sunday bonus. That was pretty sweet. When I worked in banking, we had there's one location that was in a grocery store and they were open on Sundays. And I always took that shift because it was like a short shift. It was like a 4-hour shift or something. And it was like the incentive, the bonus incentive and stuff. And I was just like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Better see some progress by next stream. You have to be up at 4. Oof, I don't miss those days. That was me like last year. But thank you, Wednesday. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Good luck at work. And yes, I will have all of the portals by next time you're here. I'll have so many portals. And a roof. That's the most important thing. A better roof. It's good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. Peek in for minor spoilers tomorrow. Okay, I will. I will. I definitely want to see. I want to see what's next, but I don't want to see too much. Wait, are they spawning up here? Oh, they are. Okay. But listen. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. What time do you stream? What time do you normally stream? Because I would love to swing by for a bit. Was that it for these guys? You're a wolf. Okay, cool. So 6 to 10 CST, so that's 7 o'clock my time. Okay, cool. Sweet. I will pop by and say hello. Look forward to it? Yeah, same. I'm excited to see what's next in the world of Nightingale. Thank you for the lurk, and thanks again. Thanks again for stopping by. And for that quick tip about the stacks. I would not have figured that out, if we're being honest. Alright, let's go to the tower and re-unlock everything. Here we go. Actually, let me get tin. I feel like I should always get tin while I'm here, because it's so easy to mine. Need to eat my leaf meat. My leaf meat. According to Wednesday, which makes sense, that the best way to farm essence is to turn the difficulty up on your realms, which makes sense. I don't think I've even been playing with that, to be completely honest. I've just kind of been making my way downtown, walking fast. I wonder if, like, you know how I have my audio separated so I can listen to Spotify? I wonder if I don't show, like, the actual video. Like, I wonder if I could, like, put on, like, a TV show in the background and, like, listen to it. You know? Like, as long as it's not going through, like, on my VOD, right? Because I've noticed on like my long streams, like when the last time I did, was it my birthday or was it, I don't remember if it was my birthday or if it was in the summer and it was my 3-year. But I specifically remember it was like one of like the long stretches where like the majority of like my community was gone because they were in bed. And I was really struggling to like stay awake because chat was really quiet. And I was like, honestly, like I would vibe out and like watch a movie or something like while I'm playing on stream, but I didn't want to get in trouble. But I wonder if like the show or the movie itself isn't on screen. You know? You know what I saw though, chat? I saw a streamer and she was in her living room and she had the camera like over her shoulder and she was sitting on her couch doing her makeup with her camera facing like her and the TV, and her chat were watching The Sopranos together through her TV. Yeah. I was like, that seems not allowed. Like, that seems really pushing it to me. But, who am I? Where's the last one? Okay, tier 1. I like how you just destroy, like, everything in order to build this dude's house. Ad's about to start, guys. I apologize, but it keeps pre-rolls disabled. Ark!
Arkstar09 just resubscribed for 21 months. How many nights have you spent with Gale?
So, my brain immediately went to Baldur's Gate, and I was like, ew. Then I was like, oh, Nightingale. Ark, thank you so much for 21 months. That's insane. Thank you so much. How are you enjoying Nightingale? And it's been pretty much every night, honestly, since I've gotten it. It's been very fun. I've enjoyed it very much. Right, Clinton. Clinton. Alright, I guess I'll recruit Clinton after because I don't have a companion. But that's because companions are annoying and they get in the way. After the tutorial, very nice, very nice. Clinton, that was like, that was nothing. What are you doing? Okay. Build your house, sir. I need 11 more sticks and some more wood. Oh my gosh, is he they all cut trees down all the time. It's all they do. Girl, are you holding a corn? No, it's my leaf meat. Hi, Bubbles. Yeah, no, I know you can. But he's not my companion yet. But that's what I mean. Like, they all just, like, every time it's a new one, they're always just chopping trees down. Yeah, you just have to change their inventory. Yeah. But they get in the way. Like, literally, I'd be, like, mining or something, and, I would suddenly not be, like, mining anymore because what's-his-face, like, got too close to me and I'm hitting him instead. It's ridiculous. Your wall invisible, your name invisible. Hi, Spooky. This isn't my house. I don't live here. Do you think I would live in this shack? Spooky, how you doing? Good to see you. How you feeling? Feeling a lot better? Good to hear. Very good to hear. I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh my gosh, why did you climb up that little tiny rock? It wasn't even that serious. This house looks like shit. Stomach is good? Let's go. I'm glad you're feeling better, because that would suck. Well, hold that act like a psychopath. How are you supposed to hold it? What's the not psychopath way? You need to redo. Yeah, I've redone my house twice now. It's fine. Everything's fine. I don't have a problem. Mock with the raid. Mock, I love that you raid me now, like, almost every stream, because you're like, I don't fucking care. Here's Pinx. Bye. Mock, have a specific drive. How you doing? Go bother Pinx. Goodbye. How a specific drive. I applied for a Pacific Drive key. I hope they give it to me, because I don't want to buy it. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for being here. I know that a lot of you already know who I am, but these are the rules. I don't make them. I just follow them. If you don't know who I am, hello, hi. Welcome in. My name is Krista. Or Pinxel. It's more like, let's go give Pinxel what a fuck. I'll never live it down. I'll never live it down. I'm a variety streamer and I play whatever the heck I want. And right now, it's a lot of Nightingale. I play a lot of survival craft games, Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, pretty much everything. I have the world's most cringiest raid video, so you can see what we do here, how things roll. You know the deal. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in a moment. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? They can't know we're like this until they're here. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. This is what heroes look like. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Why did you hold it like that? Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't! I just looked down and I can see it!
Look at that donk. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? What have I done? Are you pooping? I can't stream in these conditions. I have poopies for you. That won't and can't go wrong. Don't give me that baby. Oh my gosh, my mom. He's still rolling.
Yeet.
No!
I was already out.
That was for the smell. I'm trying to make the poop.
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
I'm a big girl. I do Mordors. I keep finding these boners. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream.
Oh my hot dogs! What is happening?
Whoa, whoa.
There's a deep rib.
What is this?
Deep rib.
We home. Name every year in the 80s. I couldn't make this up if I tried. I don't want to fight in the poo. Where would Klefki's butthole be? You know, like these are the important questions. How do I know so much of Umbop? You did not just Umbop me.
Oh, we can play Jenga?
Yeah, I could play Shenga. Shenga?
But
Go, bees! I just want to be beautiful like her. Is it working? I am Cat, I can help you. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. What did? Oh. I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time.
You're like, yeah. Then you're like, yeah.
Locke, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. And Wolfie, welcome back. Thank you for the lurk. What you doing, Bubbles? You quoting anything? You quoting anything in particular? I am traveling back to my house because I'm encumbered. That's what we're waiting for. I was hoping it'd be done by the time the raid video is done, but alas, here we are. I'm a little sleepy. I'm not sure how late I'll stream tonight. Yeah, they are. They are really rough. It's very unfortunate, honestly. About to pass out from being eepy. You are an eepy girl. I must stream forever? But people don't watch forever. Forever. I almost streamed something different. I really don't know what I would have streamed instead. I'm just a little baby. Yeah, it's true. It's true. You're just a baby. Wasn't that, isn't that Fred Armisen? Isn't he like, I can't do that. I'm just a baby. I can't remember the context of it. Why can't I ever find where I put gunpowder? There it is. Why it's in there? I'm not sure. I'm just a baby. Oh my gosh. Repairs don't actually— yes. Yeah, and my thing never goes down. Yeah. There's a few things. There's a few things that I feel like is just not very intuitive. But I'm hoping it's just growing pains, you know? Like, I'm hoping it's a new game and, like, there's just a few things that they're like, oops. So, I don't know. Yeah, they'll probably fix that at some point. What's another thing that I noticed that I feel is really kind of counterintuitive? Oh, yeah. It took me, like, 3 IRL days to learn about the build menu. Like, the game did not tell me that there was, like, this, like, to do it this way. It just told me, like, B to build, etc., etc. So I was literally, like, destroying everything and, like, losing resources and, like, rebuilding. When really, you just move stuff. It's very annoying. It was very annoying that it didn't say that. But whatever, I figured it out. And I figured it out on accident because I was using a controller because my wrist hurt and I didn't want to be on my mouse and keyboard and I wanted to like recline. And I misclicked a button on my controller that brought that menu up. It did, but it went by very quickly. I honestly, I had read everything the first day. I don't know how I ended up missing it or what, but either way, I was destroying all my stuff for like days. And then I was like, there's gotta be a better way. There is, I'm just dumb. And also, one thing that's kind of frustrating is, so here's my workbench, right? You can see it's got all 7 of the things. I had to build a separate workbench because I couldn't get the workbench that's here to use this saddle, the saddle rack. It was just like, and like, even though I built it in this order and I built the saddle rack first and like it reaches and it connects and stuff like that, it like kept replacing it. So I had to build another one over here separately so I can make ammo. Ridiculous. So like the order you place them in doesn't change the order that like the bench uses them, which was kind of frustrating. All right, let's go back. Oh, I should have changed the difficulty. Oh well, I didn't think of it. Ark, did you ever end up getting enshrouded? That I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if you end up getting enshrouded or not. I want to get back into enshrouded. I really liked it a lot. You did. Okay. I was gonna say I was almost positive. I just could not remember if you had or hadn't, because I know we like bothered Broseph to try to get it, and he did not get a key from the key distributing place. I really liked Enshrouded a lot. I thought it had a lot of potential. But I had every single time I would play, I'd be exploring and I would end up like against like the edge of the early access map and I'd be like, "Oh my god, please. Please. I just want to keep exploring." Yeah, you're right though, Ark. There are only survival crafts this year. Like this is the year of survival craft. Like I don't know what happened. Excuse me. I don't know what happened in game development where they're like, "Yep, this is our year. This is our year." 4 pills a day, 230. Holy crap. But do you feel better? Wait, release Hope Echo where? What? That was like hidden. It does, I feel a lot simpler. It feels simpler, but like in a good way. Like not every survival craft needs to be like above and beyond, you know what I mean? Like I think that's, even though I don't like it, I think that's why Minecraft is so like successful still, is because it's so simple. But like Enshrouded, the one thing Enshrouded does perfect that nobody else does is Enshrouded's building is so good and so intuitive and so fun that like I wish every other survival craft adapted the building mechanics from Enshrouded. Just a yeah. That's, I'm agreeing, like it is much simpler. I feel like the combat isn't simpler though. Do you feel that way? I feel like the combat is simpler in this than it is in Nightingale. So far, at least. This has just been kind of hack and slash. Oh my god, I'm getting KO'd on. Oh my gosh, this favor is so annoying. Favor granted. Wait, didn't I hear? Yeah, I did. Okay, reset my puzzle, please. Show me 1, 2, 3. Show me 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Favor granted. What was the favor? I didn't even look. Whoops. $4,000 magic cards arriving Friday. That's a lot of magic cards. Can I ask how much that cost? Oh my god, it's 100? What am I at? I've got to be in the 60s by now. $62? I anticipated a very much higher number than that. Like, I know you said they're commons and shit, but I still anticipated, you know. Oh, I spent $200 on this, or whatever. I'm still, like, forever bitter about, like, the place that I know totally took advantage of me, but I just didn't care enough to fight them on it. So, like, when my brother moved out, he, like, left a bunch of his shit behind, and he was like, I don't care what you want to do with it, blah, 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 because he was all pissy. So I took all of his Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I sold them to, like a game store or whatever. And they gave me, like, 10 cents per card. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Even though I know there are some ones that are worth money in there. I know there are some rares. I know there are, like, I don't have the patience nor the bandwidth to, like, go on one of those sites and look up every single one of these cards, whatever. So, like, I know that they completely fucked me over and gave me 10 cents per card when some of those cards were worth money, but I was like, whatever. Spiting my brother anyway. So a lot of stores booked. Yeah. I had very old. Aw. See, like, it wasn't that bad. Like, he straight up was like, I don't care what you do with them. But, yeah, that sucks. My uncle went away to college, and my grandma had a yard sale, and she sold a bunch of his Star Wars toys because she thought that, like, you know, he was in college and, like, he wasn't a kid anymore and he wasn't, like, playing with Star Wars toys anymore and this, and this. And some of them were, like, straight up, like, 1977, like, first edition, like, worth money, and she just, like, sold them, like, innocently sold them. And he, like, still to this day has not forgiven her. He, like, still talks about it at, like, holiday dinners and stuff. It's like, you sold my Star Wars toys. And she's like, oh my god, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I don't, like, know where this connects. Oh my god, I bet you I can't mine that. Whatever that is right there, I bet I can't mine it. I bet it's like 200 or something. It's 40. I was right. I said 200. Damn it. think they'll pay so much. Basically, they hope they recoup later by a few valuable cards. Yeah, yeah. I know, and that's why I said, like, I get it. Like, I'm not hating on them. Like, I know that they're screwing me because that's just the way that they process things. But at the same time, I'm like, you and I both know that some of these cards are not 10-cent cards. Like, come on. You and I both know this. But, yeah, whatever. They also, like, they were better. Like, they were absolutely better than selling your games to GameStop, but they also still gave you, you know, $10 for a brand new game that was 2 months old. I might be lost. I might be lost. Oh, no, I'm not. Wait, this doesn't have a portal at the end of it? There's no way. What the? There's no portal at the end of this? There's no way. Huh. Okay. Very interesting. Huh. There's usually portals at the end of these things. I hate having to come back. Alright, well, hold on. What level is my... Oh, that's the wrong button. What level is my pickaxe at? 63, and I need to get to 100. Okay. Alright. Better deal when you have the valuable cards basically set aside when you go on, because they have a better idea of what they can make. They'll still probably go through the whole collection in case you miss something. Yeah. Oh, when you go in. Yeah. Yeah. Crude tools can be crafted at any time through your guidebook. Yeah, you know what can't be crafted at any time? These fucking load screens. Thank you. Thank you, finally! Quality load screens need quality time too? I guess so. It'd be cool if they showed, like, I don't know, some artwork or something. So it's not just this, like, light. It says it's ready. What's taking so long? I'm grumpy. Grumpy! Basically, though, and a want list for the store and expect you to pull the valuable stuff out for them. They might toss you a few bucks to buy the rest. Interesting. But then, like, but is there really... How do I phrase this? Is there really, like, a market for that though? Like, are people going into these game stores and stuff looking for cards? Or are they still buying like booster packs and stuff and getting new? Is there a market for that? I'm genuinely asking because I don't know. This bothers me. I have a whole box. I have a whole box in my storage that is just stuff that has the stupid Nightingale symbol instead of like an icon because it bothers my OCD. So I have a whole box of storage that's just stuff that doesn't have its logo yet, or its icon yet, I mean. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? Oops. Especially as packs and pre-built decks of Magic have gotten more and more expensive, it's generally much cheaper to build your own deck in an app and then track down each card and buy. Is it really? So, for Chris's birthday this past year, he wanted us to all learn Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like it's the same general concept as Magic, where it's like people like will play this online version, but like they'll still buy the cards for the online version. So like they still have the cards, but they're playing digitally online. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, can I upgrade anything? Do I have 40 at all yet? Oh my god, I do. Okay. So, let's do... definitely the mining pick. And then I guess I'll do my axe as well. Or should I do my dress? No, I'll do my axe. And my axe. Exactly what to spend instead of opening tons of packs to get what you want from packs, which isn't guaranteed. Yeah, like, I understand it. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, isn't that, like, kind of the whole point of... Ah, it's 111 now. Isn't that kind of, like, the whole point of, like, the excitement of, like, opening a pack? Like, I still have Pokemon card packs somewhere over here on my desk. The mess that is my desk, because I haven't cleaned it. Like, and it's, like, it's just fun opening them and, like, seeing the random, you know? That's just my opinion, which doesn't matter. Alright, so... let's try... nothing, because we don't have cards. Hold on. Here we go. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Antiquarian card. Let's make like 5 of those. $3 to $5 is worth it, but not anymore. Insanely expensive specialty packs. Yeah, I feel like, again, like, it's just, everything is digital these days, you know? Like, there's Magic the Gathering Online, Arena, whatever. There's Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever Duel, you know? Like, there's all these, I don't know. I get it. I get it. I look at my, I collect shit. I get it. I just, for me, card collecting is so strange. You can buy packs, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not hating. It's more just like, there's just so many alternatives, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I can't say this without somehow hurting somebody's feelings when I don't mean to. I'm just genuinely like, I don't understand. card collecting. But I also don't understand stamp collecting. You know, like it's not an exclusive thing. Oh my god, it literally just closed. Oh no, I closed it. That's right. Alright, so let's do an antiquarian, forest, open. Alright, I really hope that this gives me some tier 2 essence. Because I want to get better at deck building and learn cards. So with 4K, yeah, you should be able to build several decks. Yeah. We do have a Magic, the Gathering channel in Discord. I'm sure Envoy would be way more than happy to discuss that with you and help you. That's a lot of cards. Watch, oh, how pissed are you gonna be if you, like, it's like, oh, what are they, it's not energy like it is in Pokemon. It's like all like the locations and stuff. Like, what if you get it and it's like 2,000 or like locations, land? Yeah. Did I ever tell the story? I mean, I know I've told the story, but I don't know if you've ever heard the story. But have I ever told the story about my ex who taught me how to play Magic, and then I beat him one time, and then he never played Magic with me again? Because he called me a cheater. That was fun. That was a fun time. Alright, so this is a hard difficulty land. Hard difficulty world, so... Let's see what changes here. They'll swap like 200. Holy crap. Alright. Alright, so this is one of the rune puzzles. This one here. Oh, this is giving me green runes. Little value, yeah. That's what I said. Like, I assumed it was the same as, like, energy or mana or whatever. How many are left? 1, 2, 3. 3 are left. Oh, I didn't know that. There's specialty lands. What makes them different? Ooh, I bet you I have to go up. Why are you here? Okay, so I need to figure out how to get up. Does that guarantee? Okay. So, I believe there are 3 more rooms. This one? tell if there's one in here or not. Ah. Well, okay. There's still one more. Give you ability, like maybe letting you pick from one or two or three colors you tap, or giving you one life. There are some of the more powerful stuff. Oh, interesting. Yeah, like I said, I didn't make it very far into my Magic the Gathering journey, because as soon as I beat him the first time, he didn't really want much more to do with it. Alright. The last one. It's driving me crazy. Turn it into a creature if you spend enough mana. That's kind of dope. Ah! Got it. Wait, isn't that all of them? Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. There's one more. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. The last one has seemed to get me on a few of these puzzles. Like, I find the last one usually really difficult to find. It gets more complex. Yeah, I feel like that's why a lot of people have also kind of, like, faded out of Magic. As, like, it used to be, I feel it used to be a much bigger thing. But I don't really see a lot of people playing it anymore. Or I guess as many people. I shouldn't say a lot. Where go? Okay, I did this already. That's the end. I hear. Why do I hear things I say that don't really mean what I intend for them to mean? What the heck? This is like the second one of these that I can't find the last rune. Much simpler than when I played the first time. It was way more complex the second time I got into it, and now it's on another level, especially with the popularity of multiple formats. I play Commander, which is meant to be for more than 2 people and has different deck building rules. In Standard, unless it's a legendary card, you can have 4 of a card in your deck. In Commander, you have 100 cards instead of 60, but you can only have 1 of each card except for basic lands. That's crazy. So that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of different possibilities there. Possibilities. Okay, I'm losing my mind. It's fine. Alright, where's the last one? This one. Interesting. See, I feel like this is something, but it's not. This is nothing. It's not raining anymore. I don't really need my umbrella. Alright. it's gotta be... Like, it's gotta be up, right? Because this is this. Oh, I see it. It's right there. Okay, I see it. Okay. Okay. It took forever, but we did it. No, we didn't do it because we can't grab this for some reason. Oh my gosh. A Snover. Oh wait, did I get that one up there? I don't think I did. Okay, let's go get this now. Nice. Okay. Dunzo. A Seal of Intellect. Oh, that was crazy. Alright, so let's go get this boss guy who's coming this way. AAO. Oh yeah, I can mine stuff now. Like, I can mine level 100s. I like shining, shimmering ore. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Oh, I like the shimmering ore. I think it's really pretty. And when you... Hello? And when you smelt it, knock it off! I'm mining here. When you smelt it, it has a moon on it. That was so unnecessary. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you running in place? Why are you running in place? I did this, thank you. Just want to turn this on a little bit, because it's just a little quiet. You know? I know I was late, but like, I can't believe it's only 11. Also, I meant to get a companion. There we go. Alright, I really don't need, like, I don't need the gems and stuff right now. I have like 300 waiting to be smelted. Also, I think I may have taken too long, and I may have lost the creature I need to fight, but I'll find it again. Yeah, he's going this way. Gaming shop opening down the street from me next week. The other two card shops in the area are much further away. And one is open 3 days a week and in really weird hours. Yeah, that happens so much. There's in my hometown, there was a comic book shop, and it was the same thing. They were open, like, from, like, 11 to 5, and it's like, that's in the middle of everybody's day. Like, the people who can afford to buy comic books are working. And they used to, like, used to do really good deals. They'd be like, oh, 1 day a week, it's like buy one comic, get one free, whatever, whatever. And then they, like, stopped doing that. And then they raised prices. And then they stopped letting you, like, read in the store, which I get. Like, they don't want you, like, reading the comics, don't you buying them. But, like, you know, if you spent what they felt was, like, too long looking, like, in a comic, they'd be like, are you gonna buy it? Ridiculous, you know? Soaring. What does the favor of soaring do? You just have to pick her up by 4, so how far? Yeah, you'd only have 30 minutes. Yeah, it wouldn't be, yeah, not worth. I'll never understand that. Like, my mom wanted to look at a piece of property here in Tennessee. And she, like, messaged him, like, 4 times. And every time he'd be like, oh, I can't, oh, I can't, oh, I can't. And so she was like, you know, like, all right, can I schedule something for, like, over the weekend then? Like, if obviously during the week is difficult for you, like, can I schedule something on the weekend? And he goes, no, my office hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And she's like, that's literally everybody's office hours. How are you going to sell this piece of property if you're only showing it during, like, everybody in the world's office hours? Like, what? So my mom was pretty much just like, good luck. She just, like, basically told the guy to get fucked. Like, good luck. Have fun, loser. I'm encumbered again. To be fair, I have been mining, but... I think I'll just go back. Because I really need all of this stuff. Like, I really need these. I really need the wood. The stone I don't necessarily need. Alright, well, we'll get rid of the stone, kill this beast, and then go back. If I can ever make it to this beast before he keeps moving. Oh, he's got to be at here. He's got to be at the marker. Unless he's gone. Yeah, no, he's here. He's literally right here. Is this it? Or is this you? Are you? Are you murder? Are you murder? Who do I murder? Where'd that deer go? I feel like it's that deer. Yeah, see, he's over in here now. It's gotta be that deer. Like, it has to be. Is it more monetizing a hobby thing? But also, like, boo-hoo then, you know? Shit, I just picked these up. Okay, whatever. You did not just hit me while I was in there. Alright, I need to kill this legendary beast. don't know who it is, though, or where it is. I don't want you. I'm literally trying to kill this Elden Beast over here, okay? I just want to look down. Frickin' sights. Frickin' sights. Some frickin' sights, man. Ah, this is it. This is it. Come here. Come back. Come back. No, you're gonna be so hard to kill. You're gonna run like a bitch. Huh. He's over here now. Scion of the Gayness. Oh my god, he is a bitch. Get wrecked, Bloodhorn of the Gayanus. Supposed to be a fun quirky shop. My friend plays there, and I want more chances to play with her since I don't have a standard deck at the moment. It's kind of awkward for us to play one-on-one, so I'll play occasionally. And she keeps her schedule packed. She's too busy. She's too popular. That's cool, though. Yeah, Envoy said he would make me a deck because I wanted to get back into it, and then his life happened, which is completely understandable. How dare you have your life instead of making me— excuse me! Instead of making me a Magic the Gathering deck. If she stops moving, she'll die. Like the bus from Speed. Bus from Speed. Or a shark. Is that true? Like, I've heard that, but is that true? Or is that just like one of those things that it's like people say? You're not sure? Like, do they you almost knocked me off this fucking cliff. Do they, like, they swim? I mean, they swim. Crystal, you're so stupid. They sleep! So, obviously... I know. Shark facts. I know cat facts and dog facts are still broken, and I don't know what to do. I might have to get rid of them until they're fixed. Shark facts. I know. When is Shark Week? Let's Shark Week together as a community. That'd be so funny. Like, yeah, they've got to sleep, right? Watch that be some random fact about sharks. They don't sleep. Because if they stop moving, they'll die. Ooh, there's a lot of ore over here. Oh, my chair at work is, like, not the best. And I feel like my hip hurts now. My hips don't lie. They hurt. We're way down. I'm way down by a lot, buddy. Wish there was consistency with how many hits it takes to break a thing, because sometimes it's like 20 and sometimes it's like 6. That one was 1. I can't reach this one. I can't reach it. Oh, I will definitely die if I fall. Fortnite tryhards? Those dang 10-year-olds being so schwaddy. Do you years ago, a random acquaintance was like, I don't get it. Like, I like Shark Tank, but why does that show need to take over Channel 4 week? I just stared at him because I couldn't tell if he was joking or not. Did he think it was Shark Tank week? And has he never been on the internet before? Like the Shark Week memes? Oh my god, it's hailing on me. Alright, I don't need crystal. Don't need twistle. Hello, Dave. How's it hanging? How y'all doing? This guy was off. He was always just saying the weirdest shit or like being confused by super common stuff. Poor guy. It's hard out there. It's hard out there on Shark Tank. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we have some of those people at work that I'm just like, why? Like, why did you feel the need to tell me that? Why did you think I needed to know that? What about the Shark Week tank? Apparently Wolfie knew somebody who thought that Shark Week was a week of the show Shark Tank. Feels like Aya with the Korok. Oh no. Poor Aya. Yeah, I think Wolfie's got it again this month. Makes it easy for me though, because I don't have to change the rules. Should I lower the chance? Because right now it's a 40% chance to catch and a 60% chance to miss. But what if I made it lower? What if I made it a 30% chance to catch? What if I made it a 1% chance to catch? That would defeat the whole point. That would defeat the whole point. I make it a 0.5% chance to catch it. I'm not gonna reach my telephone. Because I'm not gonna reach my telephone. My telephone. Half of this stream has been waiting for loading screens. A sensory deprivation pod. Honestly, though, like, Shark Week tank could be cool. Like, Shark Week tank could be a live feed of, like, a tank of sharks that goes, like, online, like, during Shark Week. And, like, you know, you could, like, check on them, or like, you know, like you could give bits to feed them. Come on. I could like totally fix their business model. I don't think their business model needs fixing, but I could fix it. Oh, I'm full. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna, no, what? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn this into stuff. Sharks have phones? Yeah, they do. Don't you know? That's what Shark Tank is. Didn't you know? It is 2024, you know, we don't discriminate. If sharks want to have cell phones, they can have cell phones. We're accepting here in this community, Horseman. Or the weak Shark Tank, swim with a shark. Oh my gosh. I would. I would swim with a shark. Yeah, I would. I would definitely do one of those cages. But I feel like I would swim with a shark. I had a dream once where the sharks on Shark Tank were real sharks, and if they didn't like their product, they would eat you. That sounds like the best dream ever. That sounds like a show. Oh gosh. I feel like, isn't that a Bob's Burgers joke? Isn't that a Bob's Burgers? No, I might be misremembering it. No, I think I'm mixing two jokes together. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. Let's take a little sleepy sleep while we're here. Where's my dog? Is my dog still outside? Honey, why? Come stay inside. Do I have to move your bed? Why does he do this? Here, go at the end of my bed. My parasol? I know, it's very cute. Look at my parasol. It's so cute. Look at, I'm very cute. I'm V-cute. V-cute. Except for my little backpack, which is just stuck to my back. It's just stuck to me. There's no strap, and it's in my hair. But if you want to see my fancy footwork, that shine. Let us see your fancy footwork. The type of guy. Holy crap. Holy meats. Where is meat? Here? Nope. Here? Yep. Teddy had his life. Yes, that's right. The mechanical shark from Jaws. Made of twigs, string. I know, right? What makes me think of that film where he's a fish? Is it fishtail? Shark tail. It's shark tail. Shark tail. Yeah, because isn't Angelina Jolie also in it? Wasn't she like the sexy shark? Or fish or whatever? I don't know how to make another backpack. I see those sharks talking. But they gave them like real people teeth, which was kind of strange. Work. See, I don't have another a backpack yet. Work. All right. It does clash. It honestly, it's kind of rude that Twitch wouldn't give a backpack drop. Really. They have this cute outfit and no backpack. Even my dog matches my outfit, but my backpack doesn't. It's very rude. Two-step. Oh my gosh, guys, do you know what I've been really vibing with? I've been playing Gas Station Sim on my Switch, and it is the weirdest vibe I've ever experienced in my life. Like, I can't put my finger on why I happen to enjoy it as much as I do, but I do. I don't know why. I think it's so funny. It's so weird. Yeah, it's, I don't know how to make my camera any clearer. Like, I have all the settings. I just, yeah. I don't know. I see some people and they like, you know, they have these perfectly crystal clear streams and these perfectly crystal clear cameras, and I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, it does. I've noticed that sometimes it like catches it and yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, so you have to grab it that way? Interesting. I don't need crystals. I need this. Sorry. Why won't you? Oh. Yeah, we jamming. We ain't never getting old there. Why did he steal a mattress? Mattresses are not supposed to be stolen. That's kind of gross. Come on. Oh my gosh. Alright, fine, you win, game. Okay? I clearly can't climb up here. Whatever. Jeez. I'm gonna break my legs. Watch. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I didn't twice. Look at that. No, don't fall. Yeah. Trick the game with gravity. Okay. Not enough stamina. No kidding. I just flew across the world. Tattoo on your shoulder. How can she not afford the tattoo she already has? Songs are so stupid. I mean, she probably couldn't afford it when she got it, but like she already has it, so. We ain't never getting older. Oh my gosh, why do I feel like I don't understand why it takes different amounts of hits to break boulders. Like, I just upgraded my pickaxe, and sometimes it takes 1,000,000,000 hits. What did my family do to you to receive such treatment? The wolves? Listen, they got good meat. Don't be so tasty. Also, they attack me, and they bite me from behind, which is very rude.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. Hello, creature. Welcome in. How you doing? Not everyone has tasted me in a while to know that. Oh. Getting ready to crash? Well, thanks for coming in and saying hey. We're probably not going too much later tonight, so you're not missing very much. I was a little late to stream, unfortunately. They got that level, that tier 1 prey meat, or predator meat, I meant. Bougie umbrella. Yeah, look at it. I'm so fancy. You're how fancy. Hi, Ramen. How you doing? Death Row Gamer. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Miss Dejected, how you doing? Doing well. Thank you for asking. Hi. Hi. Death Row, hi. The Sailor Moon sound. Yes. All my sounds are Sailor Moon. Very inspired. Oh my gosh. Look at the Artemis and Luna. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. Raid video time. Yes, it is raid video time. Hello, raiders. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. How was your stream? How are you enjoying Nightingale? Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. It was fun. That's awesome. You love this game so much. I have been loving it too. I was like watching for like 2 years for this game to come out and waiting anxiously, and I've been super obsessed. I can't stop playing. I'm super obsessed. And I'm really taking my time and going really slowly and just kind of taking it all in because I've really been enjoying it. Hi, Scuffy. Welcome in. But welcome in, everybody. Hello, hi. My name is Krista, or Pinxel. Most people just call me Pink. I am a variety streamer, and I play whatever the heck I want, including Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, a shit ton of survival games, and everything in between. I do have, thank you so much for those follows, I appreciate it. I do have a very quick video that I like to show when we get a raid. It's super goofy, super cringe, but we just kind of like to show what goes on here, what to expect here, and just kind of like what we're all about. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in a moment. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? They can't know we're like this until they're here. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. This is what heroes look like. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Why did you hold it like that? Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't. I just looked down.
Wait,
and I can see it.
Look at that donk. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? What have I done? Are you pooping? I can't stream in these conditions. I have poopies for you. That won't and can't go wrong. Don't give me that baby. Oh my gosh, my mind. He's still rolling.
Yeet.
No.
I was already out.
That was for the smell. I'm trying to make the poop.
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
I'm a big girl. I do Mordors. I keep finding these boners. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream.
Oh my
hot dogs. What is happening?
There's a deep rib.
What is this?
Deep rib.
Home. We home. Name every year in the 80s. I couldn't make this up if I tried. I don't want to fight in the poo. Where would Klefki's butthole be? You know, like these are the important questions. How do I know so much of Umbop? You did not just Umbop me.
Oh, we can play Jenga?
Yeah, I could play Shenga. Shenga? Go, bees! I just want to be beautiful like her. Is it working? I am Cat, I can help you. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. What did? Oh. I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time.
You're like, yeah. Then you're like, yeah.
Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. And I hope you guys enjoyed that wonderful video of what goes on here. Ramen's good to see you. How have you been? What did I get here? Oh, an occupation. Okay. Mrs. Dejected. You have such cute emotes. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. That's like the 4th version of it. We update it every few months. Creature, thank you for the alert. I appreciate it. Alright, so I have to get over to the Fae Tower. Living the dream. We love to hear it. Good to see you. Have you been streaming? How about you? I'm good. I started a new job at the beginning of the year, and I love my new job, which is so strange to say out loud. But yeah, I'm good. I'm really, really good. Things have been going well. This is why it takes me forever to get anything done, because as soon as I see something mineable, I'm like, ooh. I don't need stone. I don't need that. I guess I just need more ore. Who else? Who else is on the Nightingale jam right now? I am absolutely obsessed, but I'm trying to, like, I don't want to say take my time. Like, take my time's not right, but I'm just really, like, taking it all in. Like, some people have been just beelining it for the story, and some people have been grinding out, like, levels and, you know, upgrading their gear, and I'm just like, ooh, mining. Mining. I've rebuilt my house 3 times already. Like, I'm thriving right now. Been busy with work. Super happy to hear about the job. Thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Do you have plans to get back into streaming once things kind of settle down? Because I know for me, I end up, like, missing streaming when I have to take time off or whatever it is, whether it's just, you know, like, I took some time off when I started this new job and I had to basically swap my sleep schedule all the way around, you know? Busted! Hi, Busted. How are you? Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. How you doing? Oh, I don't need this. What am I doing? Okay, I guess I'll take it. Hey! How you doing? Good to see you. You had to evacuate your house yesterday? Why? What did you do? Oh, shit. That's right. That's scary. Yeah, I'm glad you're okay. That's right. I forgot you're in Texas. That's right. That's so scary. People lost their homes. Oh my god, that's so scary. Ugh. Nature is, like, the cruelest beast that there is. That's terrifying. And, like, what do you do to prepare for that? Or, what do you do in that? Like, there's nothing to be done, and that's the worst part. You know, get your few things that you can't replace and get out. And it was like an apocalypse. Oh god. I'm glad you're. Do you mind? I'm talking to Busted. Couldn't imagine. No kidding, right? I couldn't imagine either. Like there are probably 3 things that I would grab. Honestly, like I would grab my dog. I know it's petty and I know it's materialistic, but I would grab my picture. I would grab my picture that I have with Stan Lee because he's dead and I'll never get that again. And I would try to grab my PC, probably. I'll post a pic to your Discord. Yes, that's insane. I'm so glad you're okay, though. Pic with these Stan. Yes, I literally got it. Like, I met him like just a few months before he passed. So, like, that's yeah. Like, I'll never get that experience again. So, I would probably grab that. Which I know, again, like, I know it's materialistic, but that's not something I could ever replace, you know? I feel like I would grab my Switch because I would be like, I'm gonna be so bored. You can post it in random, yeah. Yeah. If you never know where to go, random is always the answer. Random is always the answer. I like this one candle. 30-second breakdown of this game. It is a survival craft game, but it is through portals. So basically, you have these portals that bring you to different realms, and they have different difficulties and different factions that like inhabit each realm. And you are looking for somebody to help you get to Nightingale City, which is like supposed to be like the safe haven from this like apocalypse that is happening, which is why it's called Nightingale. So you craft cards. So you have biome cards, you have major cards, and you have minor cards. So the biome card, obviously, self-explanatory. So that's whether it's a desert, a forest, or a swamp. And then the major card is like the difficulty and like the faction, I guess, that's there. So like it goes like level 20, level 30, level 40, level 50, etc., etc., etc. So when you build a portal, you put your biome and you put your major card down. So you put your biome and your level. And then when you get into a realm that you've generated with those cards, you play minor cards, which like have like effects on the realm. Like it can make it where like crafting materials like spawn more often, but you do less damage, like things like that. Posted? Holy shit. Look at that sky. Holy shit, Busted. That's crazy. Textbook. Yes, exactly. I tried to make it as clear and straightforward as possible. Cause like there's a little tiny bit more to it than that, but that's the main gist of it is that it's this portal. It's a portal-based survival craft game. Like that's portaling is how you get from place to place. Ugh. Oh, that's literally the wrong thing. This one. You almost ran over a lady. Holy shit! Scary, scary, scary. Oh my god, I don't have anything. It flies through fuel, though. I mean, I'm sure wood is... Like, I'm sure wood is better, but whatever. It's fine. Know exactly what to expect. I can get the gist by seeing the game, but your explanation gave. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad it made sense. I'm glad it made sense for you. But I definitely recommend, highly, highly recommend. It's very different. I play a lot of survival craft games, and eventually they get to the point where you're like, okay, been here, done that, been here, done that. But like this is different, and I like that they tried to do something different, you know. Can't remember where everything is yet, but I'm getting better. These ones down here? Yep, okay. Okay, cool. So the crafting is cool. So there's crafting stations, like in a lot of survival craft games. But then you build these things here, which are augments. So like you get the crafting station, which obviously unlocks recipes. And then you get augments, which do other things. So like you can see like... See sharpened blades, crafted axes and knives have melee damage plus. Unlocked recipe, unlocked recipe. So like you get these
Oh hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Hi, Paul. I always know it's you. I'm still a piece of garbage. How you doing, Paul? Welcome in. You're doing fantastic. Love to hear it. So yeah, so let me show you, because this is what I was doing. So these are portals. This one's off right now because they don't stay on forever, just to kind of save your computer's resources. So you enter the portals. This is the one downside to this game. I will be honest. I will be completely transparent. The load screens are atrocious. I hope... Yes, you craft everything. You craft buildings. You craft... Yep. It's a survival crafter. So you build all of that. So I built that house that I'm living in right there. The load screens are really bad. That's the one thing that I will say. That's kind of frustrating that they're like 3-minute load screens. But they're generating the world each time, which is fair, but like once it's already been generated and the portal has already been open, there's no reason for it to take this long, you know? Thank you. It's not one of my better survival craft homes because my recipes are still a little limited at the moment. But thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. So yeah, so this is a world. So this is a this is a provisioner's forest, I believe. No, it's an antiquarian forest. So antiquarian. Play this card to seek a realm of middling danger, so low danger, settled by druids and rife with fey ruins. So you know that your enemies, or the people that are here, are the druids and the antiquarian ruins. So now you know that there's going to be like these kinds of ruins that you can explore for like loot and for like echoes and stuff like that. So like to level up. So like you know that it's like as little danger as possible, and it's gonna have all of these ruins and stuff. So that's how you just kind of choose what cards to play when you're building portals. It is both. You can you absolutely can play single player. There's no like punishment or anything to playing single player. I've been playing single player, but it is multiplayer. You can have like a realm that your friends join. I think that there's public realms too. I'm pretty sure from what I saw on their Twitter. So I'm pretty sure there's like public ones that you can join. And the thing that's really cool is there's actually a card you can craft that's called like, I believe it's called a state address card, I think is what it's called. And you can give it to other players and they can visit your realm like when you're not online. So like that's really cool too. So they can like come and like check out your stuff when you're not playing because they have like your realm address. Our necessity, yeah. Okay, so that one's done. Okay, that's done. That's done. All right, I have to go do this one, the tower. Like that it's more combat oriented than some games, therefore I just used your... Did you use my CD keys? Let's go! Thanks, Wolfie. I'm glad you think it looks interesting. I'm glad you think that I've made this look interesting, because I'm always worried when I play these games that it's exactly the opposite. It's exactly the opposite, because I'm like, oh, let me mine copper for 4 hours and chat with chat. Thank you for using my link. That's awesome. I do hope you like it, though. And I'm excited because I'm, like, getting further now that I'm starting to unlock stuff. That's noise. I might check out a new... I might check out a public realm. Just, like, out of curiosity. Like, I don't see myself, like, playing in it long term. But I definitely would like to just, like, out of curiosity, see how something like that would go. Like, I bet you people have, like, full... Like, I bet people have, like, full trade operations and stuff, you know? Like, people are probably have, like... People probably, like, farm the crap out of resources and then, like, exploit. That's always how it is in multiplayer games. Oh, she's in the pen with the bunny. That's cute. Is the bunny, like, cuddly? Or does it really kind of not really like to be touched? I imagine bunnies are probably Well, no, they might actually be cuddly. I was gonna say I imagine they're probably not. But if they're domesticated, they might be. What the hell? Why is he booking after me? That's the second time he's charged at me like that. But she will climb. Some are very snuggly. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're domesticated, they probably might be. Alright, so I think we're gonna do the Fae Tower, and then we're gonna call it, because it is midnight. And I do work in the AM. But I want to do this tower, since we've made it all the way over here. And because we got that awesome raid, and I would like to continue to hang. I just realized it's Britney Spears that's playing right now. Because she was still a baby when my wife passed, and I didn't handle her for a while. I just made sure. Oh, I can see that, yeah. Yeah, I did, like... When Gigi passed away, I was a little cold towards Jack. Like, I never, like, didn't love him, but I definitely was, like, I didn't want to, like, cuddle him and, like, love on him, you know? Because, like, I wanted it to be her, so. She loves the kiddo. That's good. How old's the bunny, then? 'Cause she's at least 2, right? Right. I really hope it's not an automatronation, auto guy. 3. So I'm thinking, I guess I want your opinion, and I know it's just Wolfie chatting, so if anyone is lurking and happens to have an opinion on the matter, I'm curious. Do you prefer when people, like, break up their content, and they're like, today we're playing this game, and today we're playing this game, and today we're playing this game? Or do you prefer when they, like, play a game, like, just, like, every single stream until it's done? I feel very neutral on it, if I'm being completely honest. Depends on how I discovered them. Hi, Driver. Welcome in. The streamer and the community. True. True. Cool either way. Well, because, like, I feel like... Okay, so... I feel like if it's, like, every single day is a different game, I would lose it. I would lose attention, and I would be like, oh, they're not playing the game I want to watch today. But also, I feel like if every single day for, like, you know, 6 months straight is the same exact game, like, they might get burnt out, I might get burnt out. So I feel like a little bit of variety is good. Like, maybe if they're playing a story game and they do, like, 1 day a week, that's different. This is Pinxel in a nutshell. No, I'm genuinely talking about... Like, I'm genuinely, honestly talking about, like, other streamers. Like, I'm not talking about myself. Survival Craft is Pinxel, I know. I almost played something different today, and then I was like, what do I even want to play? Like, what do I even want to play? Like, there's nothing else to play. There only is Nightingale. I want to mine a little bit more before I go back home. Because that one ended up being very quick. A Bastille of Insight, a defense. There's a trader over here. I probably already have everything he has, though. A Bastille of Might. What is that? I don't think I've ever done that. What is it? Because I'm also asking because, like, I still have to finish the 2 games I started before Pal World completely, like, took over my life, and then that bled into Enshrouded, which then bled into this game. And I never finished Red Dead Redemption, which I plan to. And I never finished Lies of P, which I plan to. So I'm just like, too many things came out. I was mostly a cat streamer when I started watching Shitterson. Horror games on Monday, try first Tuesday, and Wednesdays are kind of random. Are you talking about Ariel? Short choice or a few games. I think she was doing that when I started watching. Oh, you might not have stuck around. Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's got a great community from what I've seen. I feel like she does really well. Yeah. I mean, when I first started streaming, I guess I was pretty consistently an Animal Crossing streamer when I very first started streaming, but also like that's what where is he? I hear him. Where the fuck is he? God, he's over here? Because that's what I was playing. So, like, that's what I was streaming because that's what I was playing. But I feel like I've always been pretty heavy variety. Not because I didn't like her. Yeah, I don't know. I totally get that. I totally respect. She's a finalist in one of the categories. Oh, that's dope. That's pretty dope. Good for her. These things are like stupid easy. Like I know they get harder as like the world level goes up, but like some of them are ridiculous. Alright, let's get this Bastille of Might and then we'll go back home and we'll call it. Even though I don't want to. Even though we all know I'm not going to bed. If I don't end stream, I'll be up all freaking night. It was wait. There he is. You are such a bitch. Live assessments are spooky. What are those? Yeah, like like Wolfie said. That sounds like not a vibe, if I'm being completely honest. Taxpayers account and they're watching my screen and giving feedback at the end. Weird. I have this problem where I cannot type and I always misclick on everything when somebody is like watching me type. Like, it's this weird thing where, like, if you're standing over me and you're asking me to type something, I will fuck up so many times. Like, I will fuck up every single letter that I type. But if you walk away, I'll be fine. And the same thing happens with, like, my mouse clicks. Like, I'll misclick on stuff because I'm like, oh, why are they watching me? So they'd be like, no, don't click that. And I'd be like, no, I know. I didn't mean to. Accidentally like erase somebody's entire tax records because I misclicked because I was nervous. What just moved? Did those just spawn? Is that all? It's mechanical, so I fuck up all the time. Yeah. So, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but my gaming keyboard, my keyboard on this computer here is a 60% keyboard. So it's like tiny. It's a little tiny baby. And it doesn't have numbers and it doesn't have function buttons and all that stuff. And then my work keyboard is a laptop keyboard, which is flat and full size. And then I got like a little like plug-in keyboard for, you know, typing because I don't like typing on laptop keyboards. And that's full size, and I have noticed that I literally cannot, like, I can't type on full-size keyboards anymore. Okay. I'm not upset about it, I'm just confused by it. Steam is driving you nuts. Anytime I want to download something or game has an update, I need to restart Steam? Really? Barely failed a couple exams, but most people don't pass the first try, so I'm hopeful to for take 2. Alright, well, that sucks. Where do I have to go? Over there. That sucks. This one hasn't been opened? Apparently not. I like how I'm like, I'm gonna do this one thing and then end, and now I'm not. I hate those guys. They're so annoying! Alright, what's the order here? Can't see. Gotta start over. It's fine. Oh my gosh, we're one follow away from 2300. I just looked. Hurry up, hurry up. 1, 2, 3, okay. 1, 2, 3. Give me. Someone follow. No, they don't have to follow if they don't want to. I just happened to look over. Because, you know, it goes up and down every single day, so. It's one of those. It's one of those. We're almost there. Why do I feel like they're spawning an awful lot in this? I don't really want to bother. I kind of just want to get my stuff. To being a human with body functions? No, that's my viewership cuts in half every time I have body functions. I told you. Oh no, I can't say that. No, I can't say that because some Twitch partner on Twitter is gonna say that they're concerned about my mental health. I forgot. I forgot. Silly me. Oh my gosh, is my stuff on the bottom floor? Look at you, Aya. Look at you being a winner. Look at you being a wiener. Holy shit. I forgot I have the jumpy thing. Ha. I just jumped over everything. Yeah, about not peeing. No, I made a joke. The joke was, and okay, like I get if you don't know me, you don't know that it's, I get it, like I get it, you don't know it's a joke. But I made a joke about like every time I pee that like everyone leaves my stream. So like I'm not gonna ever pee on stream ever again, so nobody can ever leave my stream. And he was like, I'm really concerned about her mental health. I was like, it's a joke, dude. I pee just fine, thank you for your concern. I pee just fine, thank you. You're gonna unlock it? Yeah, I did. It was when I played BioShock, and I was like, and I said I peed once during a 10-hour stream playing BioShock, and half my viewers left. Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Okay, so like, how many waves do I have to do? And am I supposed to be like doing it before a certain time? Because I've done this like 4 times now. I don't understand. I just doing weights? Oh, my nose. Hi, Blaze. How you doing? Oh, now it broke open. I see it. Cool. Oh. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Love to hear people are doing good. Alright, so that is it. Unfortunately, Blaze, you have come in at the end. I was just getting ready to wrap up. I just wanted to finish that temple I was in. But it's good to see ya. I meant to end about 15 minutes ago, and I have procrastinated. Steep slopes cannot be traversed. So it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. I don't have a very busy day at work tomorrow, so I might be able to stream. Thursday is technically like one of my off days, but my off days were made when I had my last job, and I worked at 5 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I potentially could pick up Tuesdays or Thursdays now that I have a steady schedule. I don't know. I might stream tomorrow. I'm really obsessed with this game, but I really want to finish my other games. Like, I really want to finish Lies of P, and I really want to finish Red Dead. There's too many games. There's just too many games. And I want to play Pacific Drive, which is that's a new game to add to the list. I didn't finish Skull and Bones, which I need to finish. And then Friday is with, Broseph and Dirge, so that kind of is whatever. Alright. While this loads, because it's taking 500 years, let's find someone to toss a raid to. I don't think I have any friends on right now, which is a bummer. Seems like I need to stream more often then. I know, I said I wanted to, but some days I sit down to stream and I'm just like, I am so fucking tired. You guys want to see Elden Ring? Want to go raid some Elden Ring? We got some decent numbers. I can raid blanks. Alright, let's raid blanks. Because that's where I hang out at night anyway. If you guys don't know who he is one of the streamers that I've started watching lately. Fall asleep watching Pirates of the Caribbean and don't wake up. That's true. That's true. I'm not gonna bother doing like a raid message because he's a big streamer and he won't care. But nobody that I know other than Victoria, and I literally raided her like 4 times last week. So yeah, so we're gonna raid blanks. Don't embarrass me. Just be cool. You don't have to, like, spam him. You don't even have to hang out or whatever, but, whatever. And, yeah, I might be live tomorrow. Might not, but I'll try to be live tomorrow. Stay safe. Make good choices. All that crap.